Okay, this computation help video deals with dividing decimals, and the trick for dividing decimals is you simply don't divide by a decimal, you only divide by a whole number. So I always like to move the decimal in the number sentence form as it's shown here. So the number we're dividing by, first let's read this number sentence. It's 75 thousandths divided by 15 hundredths. So the number we're dividing by, the number on the right that we're dividing by, is the number that needs to be a whole number. We only want to divide by whole numbers. And you'll understand why when we set it up. But in order to make this number that we're dividing by a whole number, to make our divisor a whole number, we have to move this decimal 2 places to the right, which is the same as multiplying it by 100. So now the number we're dividing by, our divisor, is 15. You can do that. It's valid to do that as long as you do the same thing to your dividend, the number that you're dividing. If I moved this decimal 2 places to the right, I need to move this decimal 2 places to the right. So now that number is no longer 75 thousandths, that is now 7 5/10. Now we've looked at the number sentence form of this division. Let's look at it as a fraction to understand why it's valid to move the decimals the way we just did. We started out with 75 thousandths and we wanted to divide by 15 hundredths. So this is the same division problem just shown as a fraction. Okay, I said that when we move the decimal 2 places to the right, it's the same as multiplying by 100. So we multiplied by 100, we multiplied our denominator by 100, and we also multiplied our numerator by 100. Well, what's 100 over 100? That's just 1. So all we've done is multiply our fraction by 1, and you know if you multiply anything times 1, it doesn't change the value of the number. That's why this method works, and that's why it's okay to do this. Okay, so we've shown it as a fraction. Let's show it the way we would set it up for long division. So we have 7.5 divided by 15. Now resist the temptation to always put the larger number inside the house, because that's not correct. The way Mrs. Dolman taught this to me is to think of these numbers as, or what's the better place, what's the place of honor. So in this number sentence, the best place to be in is first place. This number is in first place, this number is in second place. You'd rather be in first place. Well, where would you rather be in this long division? Would you rather be inside the house or outside the house? Clearly it's better to be inside the house where it's nice and warm than outside the house. So the number that's in first place in the number sentence goes inside the house. The same with the fraction. If you show it as a fraction, would you rather be on the king of the hill up on top of the fraction, or would you rather be on the bottom? You'd rather be on top. So think of the place of honor that helps you set up your divisor and your dividend in the correct places. Okay, let's do this division. Anytime we're doing long division, we have a decimal in our dividend. We want to line up a decimal in our quotient, and then we ask ourselves, how many 15s in 7? 0. There are 0 15s in 7. How many 15s in 75? Well, you might not be sure, so you might try 15 times 4, and you get 60, and then you might try 15 times 5, and realize that that works out perfectly, 75. So 5 times 15 is 75. When we subtract, we get a remainder of 0, so we're done. So our quotient is 0.5 or 5/10.